To the other day be able to give you some positive feedback at Mentor Maker, and now we're going to, for real, with audio, give you feedback on your glass walk.
Part 2, bigger and better. All right, so we're just going to move this over here, and let us begin.
Hey, how many of you have ever felt on top of the world? Like you could handle anything the world put your way? Raise your hand. Yeah.
Great raise of the hand.
Very good. When you're having your MC introduce you, the audience doesn't need to know it's his first time. So that's great feedback for him afterward, but if you want to give that feedback, don't do it in front of the audience. So.
And that's a good place to be, right? It feels good. In fact, give your neighbor a high five. That is a fun place to be.
Keep that arm out of the box. We got like mantis arms.
Have ever felt?
There we go.
That's not quite such a fun.
It looks like that you're working the audience well. You're looking all around your audience as you're talking to them, so that's good.
Weight of the world on your shoulders. You didn't even raise your own hand on that, so that may not be a question that you want to give in that way. I like the idea of the question though, so if you can frame it up in a safer way where it's, how many of you have felt a little bit burdened by some of the things, you know? It's just way, this is a good place for sugarcoating. If you're going to sugarcoat, this is where you want to do it.
What if I could teach you to go from being conquered to conqueror in all areas of your life? If that sounds good to you, give me a thumbs up and say, I want to be a conqueror.
I want to be a
Very
conqueror.
good. Very good. When you're walking across stage, don't cross your legs when you walk. So when I see you walk, I see your leg and then your leg cross over the other like this, and it closes off your body a little bit. So if you need to walk from one side of the stage to the other, make sure that you're not crossing your legs over each other. Make sure you're just stepping.
So either sidestepping or moving at an angle, as it were, are your best bet for moving on stage.
Good. Excellent.
My name is Amy Krantz. I am a
So you did this to us last time. Let's try this again.
areas of your life. If that sounds good to you, give me a thumbs up and say, ah.
Okay, we're going to just go ahead.
And I believe that everyone in this room was created with a divine.
That was a great motion to the whole audience.
And I am passionate about living on purpose and helping others to do the
But I
same.
might have motioned in the opposite direction. You were going from
That
future
keeps us
to
from
past.
having more fully, deeply connected relationships. Commitment.
Good, strong arm.
Would you not agree that there are a lot of people in this world that struggle in some way with having?
Okay, now Amy, one of the things for me personally, I do not, and this is a personal preference, I do not like when questions are phrased in a negative light.
All right,
How many of you would not like to, or something? I would prefer them to be in a very positive manner.
Yeah, so the question was, how many of you would, what was the question again? Hang on.
Would you not agree that there are a lot
Would
of
you
people
not
in this
agree?
world that
Okay.
struggle?
So you could say, how many of you would agree that, and then say what you want to
Yes.
say, or how many of you would agree that, and then, so you can say, how many of you agree that we need more of this, or how many of you would agree that we are experiencing a lack of this. So how many of you would not agree doesn't, I don't know how to raise my hand to that.
And that is a thing that's throughout our society. And I guess maybe I'm taking that on a crusade to undo where
in
possible.
some way with having a fear of commitment.
And that's why you didn't get a hand raised there, because it was just,
for
I don't
just a
understand the
minute,
question.
We're going to make a list of things, of negative beliefs, of limiting beliefs or fears that people who struggle with commitment might have in their lives. So, raise
Watch
your
the
hand
box.
when you have an idea of what might keep people from being committed. Raise your hand if you have
Okay,
something
very
you'd like to
safe
share.
question
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
That was super safe the way you asked that. How many of you have heard, or what did you say? How many?
But you said you put it in a third person people instead of allowing it to then be to them directly. How many of you, and I think you said how many people
We
or
can go back and check.
all right.
Magic.
Idea of what might keep people from being committed. Raise your hand if you have something you'd like to share. Yeah.
Okay, what might keep people from being committed?
Instead of what might keep you from being committed, what might keep me from being committed. And oftentimes if I feel like the question can be construed as unsafe at all, then I'll point at me and say, I have found that there are a few things that keep me from being committed. And then I would give them and ask if they have any examples.
Mm-hmm. So Tracy's example is a great way to make it safe. I think what you did actually created a safe
Mm-hmm.
space too, where how many of you have heard people, or what kinds of things have you heard? And then you will take it to the audience.
And I like that. What kind of things have you heard? So now we're not blaming it on anybody, even
Right.
if they know it's coming straight from them.
Yeah, and you can imagine like a husband and wife, they were sitting next to each other in your audience, and the husband's sitting there, and the wife's like, I know what keeps people from being committed. I know what keeps him from being committed. You know,
Right.
you want to.
No, I know what keeps her from being committed.
Right. So this is a really good one to
Yes.
keep safe.
Awesome.
Fear. Okay, fear. Fear of the future.
Good acknowledgement.
What others?
Fear of success.
Fear of success.
And I like, Amy, how you mentioned to me that you forgot your whiteboard, but you're not pretending that you had it there, and you're not acknowledging that you forgot it. You're just
And what's
going.
your fear? Or what fear do you think they can be? Fear of letting people down. Has anyone ever experienced that fear before?
Good acknowledgement. Very good. See, that's where you you took an audience member, you acknowledged what she said, and then you said, has anyone ever experienced that before? A very general question, but it did exactly what Tracy was pointing out of making it personal, so that you're doing that at a very good sequence. So you said, you acknowledged her, you repeated what she said, and then how many of you felt that way? And if you were to have her stand up and continue with her, you could even have her say, look around, look how many people have their hands up. You're not alone in this.
Oh, I have no idea.
Fear of failure. My name is Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Fear of failing, I think, is a really big one because we're not sure of ourselves, and we're afraid we're going to look bad and embarrass ourselves because we're not going to do well. Those things.
Thank you. I want to give all of you a round of applause that helped us and you shared with us the things that you think are. Wait, there's not one.
Just say, give yourselves a round of applause.
Stand up.
There.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
Hey, Kylie.
Sometimes you're afraid that what you're investing your time in is fake, or that it's not going to get you anywhere.
So authenticity. Okay, fear of authenticity. I can tell you that there was a time in my life, just not even a year ago, when many of the limiting beliefs that you have mentioned today were part of my life, part of what I believed in. And I was in a very dark place in my life. I was living two of my biggest dreams. I was married to my Prince Charming.
Good stage
And I
geography.
was mom to 6 amazing, incredible, inspiring children. I had a house on the hill. My horses were out in the pasture. I had a beautiful view. My house.
Okay, this is one thing that we want to point out is the house on the hill and horses in the pasture a metaphor, or is it actual? And if it's a metaphor, that's the way I'm thinking it's framed up here. And if it's an actual, my house was physically on a hill and I had horses out in the pasture, paint us a picture of maybe you sitting in the kitchen and you looked out the window and I could see my horses grazing on the hill outside, you know. So make it more concrete if it's an actual memory.
Yes.
Outside world was wonderful. But my inside world was a wreck.
I love that outside inside. Very cool.
I was sad. I was depressed, was having anxiety, and all I ever wanted to do was be a perfect mother and wife. And I had nothing to give. So I heaped on top of that sadness, I heaped guilt and shame
Good hand movement.
and self-loathing.
I would even stack them, help, and you know,
I
low energy,
hid
self-loathing.
myself in my room behind my locked door, curled up on my bed, with covers over me. 'Cause I couldn't think.
Okay, and once again, I know that you were pointing to a door that was in the room, which was good. But if I'm hiding behind my locked door, then I'm going to throw that into the past in a deep way. And so I would be with my right hand. I was locked behind a door,
Maybe even pulling the door close
Yes.
to you, you know, like this.
and so I'm now hiding behind it. And
I remember watching my husband quietly dig through dirty laundry, find a shirt that was suitable for him to wear. My little babies, my sweet little girls, they'd knock on the door. Mommy, when are you coming out? We want you, Mommy.
Very good. Very good. Wow, Amy.
And I asked myself, why? These people who know me better than anyone else, they are so aware of my imperfections and my inadequacies. Why do they still want me? Why do they still love me?
Very good, relatable question. And you're letting it hang so well.
I had one day a profound realization.
You could even pause it a few seconds longer there.
I realized that if I could not love myself and I could not trust myself, how could I ever commit to my children and my husband? Because self-love and trust, they are both forms of commitment. And when I realized that, my life started on a different trajectory. So tonight, I'm going to give you an opportunity to look at your lives. Just examine them and see where you might be lacking in commitment. Maybe it's in your personal power, like it was for me. Or maybe it's in your commitment to others, or your finances, or your health. I don't know. Look at your life.
okay, I don't know.
Where maybe you're
I don't know is a phrase that try to drop that phrase from your vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
especially from the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had given them all four of the areas that we're dealing with at Limitless, which was awesome. But then you told them, I don't know, and you may want it to have phrase,
Just drop it.
yes, because they get to pick which area is the one that's going to apply to them, where they need the work. And I can't know what's best for anybody, nor do I try to know what's best anymore.
So when you're doing that subconsciously, here's what's happening is when you're going over the 4 branches of Limitless, they're going through in their mind too. So they're going to follow you. Is it in my health? Is it my wealth? Is it my commitment? Is it my personal power? And when you say, I don't know, they're going to say, is it I don't know?
And they may say, you're right, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which then allows my brain to turn off.
I invite you to close your eyes
Good invitation.
and ground with me. Deep breath in,
Good explanation of grounding.
exhale slowly.
One thing you're going to do, Amy, as you're doing this, you're not going to close your eyes with them. that is a tendency to go. This gives you an opportunity, once they've got their eyes closed, for you to do an assessment of your whole audience and put that thermometer in different places and kind of feel and see where they're at. And it also allows you, if you've got any jittery energy, which it doesn't appear that you do, then it allows you to move around some more during this process, not having to worry about them looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to be in a certain part of the stage, then before you open their eyes, then you can be in that part of the stage.
Yep.
Here comes the question.
Good. I love that phrase.
Go to intuition to receive your answer. What is the number one limiting belief keeping you from
At this point, you could even walk in the audience. If you had a center aisle, you could be doing this eyes closed exercise, walking in the audience. And it's great for connection when you're speaking to them that way.
I'm going to give you 10 more seconds.
Good warning.
Okay, put your hands down. Open your eyes.
That was great because you're making it safe for everybody.
Coming up for you. I'd like to share. Dan.
Okay, watch out for that pointer finger.
Hey, Shane.
Thinking it can't be done.
Okay. It can't be done. Well, tell us your name. I'm Dana.
Hey, Dana.
Mine is the fear of not accomplishing that goal.
At this point, you could have taken one more step, keeping all of the audience in your nest, or
Mm-hmm.
where you're not cutting off anybody, which I don't think you were. But
Hey, Scott.
Sufficient money. Make sure the bills are paid.
But all of you at some point in your life.
that was great. You did 3.
Do resonate with some of these limiting beliefs that have been brought up to me.
You could even do a partner share at that point.
I'm going to
Turn to your
invite
partner, share with them what you came up with.
to the front.
So after you get 3 shares, you can have them turn to your partner, share with them what came up for you. That would be a great way to personalize it and to make sure everyone get a chance to share.
This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone who is committed to overcoming their limiting belief. I'm looking for someone.
I see
who
a
is
thumb
willing
tucked
to
into your
move,
wrist like this, tucked into
and
your
I'm looking for
fist.
someone who's willing to walk on glass. Broken glass.
There we go.
Okay, now where you are right at this second, if you were on an elevated stage, then that could be appropriate. I would encourage you not to lean in that far. About a quarter of that lean would be what I would. So and earlier you did a lean where you came
Like a tilt. Yeah.
fairly far in towards the audience. And so just be aware that leaning, I'm connecting, which is wonderful. If it goes down too far, then it may be perceived in the mind as a condescension, and you're not doing that at all, nor do I think your audience is feeling that. But just be aware of, if you're gonna lean, just lean in a little bit so that they can feel it and know that you're loving them and part of them.
So also with that, women, just general rule, we don't always remember what we're wearing, so just don't lean that far, just for the visual perspective. Also, you've got your glass pre-poured. Part of the glass walk is having your glass poured after the breakthrough of the person who will be crossing the glass. So when you're practicing for next time, make sure your glass is not pre-poured and that it gets poured at the right moment. And just, it's in the script, you can check that out, but it's after the person's breakthrough and after they've got their new belief. And the glass gets poured then to audibly cement it in, and to physically cement it in when they walk on it, to verbally cement it in when they say it out loud. And we want to involve all the senses at the same time, so wait till that moment comes for the class.
And we found more and more as we've done this that adds an element to this whole process that with the pre-poured glass you just don't get. There's something about hearing glass just being poured out that you're about to walk on.
Okay. Close your eyes. Check in with yourselves and see if you might be that person. And if you think you might be, raise your hand. Okay. Put your hands down. Open your eyes.
Nice remembering to do that.
What's your name?
Hey, Amanda.
Amy, even though you know that she has raised her hand, then at this point I would still offer the invitation. Amanda, would you be willing to come up here?
Join us on stage.
And I would, yes. Because I'm still giving her a right of refusal, which is going to allow for security. It's going to make her feel even safer than she did before.
Are you ready to come up to the stage?
Good, you just did it. Very good.
Let's welcome Amanda up front. Right here.
Okay, another thing with your stage setup, since you've got the glass pre-poured, this might be more difficult, but what you want to have is, you see you've got your glass right here, you've got you right here, you've got your participant right here. What you want to have is you right here and your participant right here. You're doing a great job of bringing her this direction. That's the direction you want to bring her, from past to future. But you need to have the glass in between you and your audience. So just remember that stage geography for your glass.
It takes a lot of bravery to get up here. Good job. We're so proud of her, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, Amanda, what was your limiting belief that came up for you?
That I'll never be good enough to get to school,
Okay,
go to college, never.
I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
How? I want you to just look at your life. I know you're pretty young.
So, Amy, that is beautiful that you are watching her and looking at her in her eyes. This is also an opportunity to view and be aware of the body language that somebody's giving you. She's got whatever she's talking about is very charged. She did a hand down. She's covering herself in protection. She's got a few different clothes off. She put her hand off to the side when she was talking about it. So this is a great individual, and at that moment, that might be where I'm going to offer her or invite her to relax her hands.
Or that will naturally happen. You can do that without words by simply putting your hand on their shoulder like that.
Yes.
When that physical touch happens, watch. People immediately drop their hands when that happens.
Because they feel safe. Because you've put them in. The stage is a naturally unsafe environment, and you're doing an awesome job.
But I want you to look at your life, and I want you to see how that belief has played out.
Okay, once again, we're going to invite instead of I want you to.
And I know that you mentioned that you remembered saying I want you to a lot, so you've already caught that.
Awesome.
I invite you to.
Good.
And there you just use it. Perfect.
Have you seen that belief surface in areas of
Man, you're a quick study, Amy.
Is it safe to share with us?
We asked you to do something and you
And you did
corrected it right on the video.
Try in school.
Okay.
So pay attention.
Yeah, because if I'm not good enough, why try?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Straight up.
I love how you're meeting her where she's at.
Is that belief serving
You validated her. You validated her a little bit because I'm not going to believe why try, right? And then you said, "Is that serving you?" So you went to her story. You went to her story, acknowledged it, and then invited her out of it by saying, "Is that belief serving you?" Spot on.
So we're gonna help Amanda come up with some.
Oops.
Okay, you said we're going to help. You said we're going to help Amanda come up with, as if she did not have any. And that is another place where languaging can be powerful. We are going to. Hey, do any of you in the audience have a belief that maybe would serve her better?
And I would do that after you ask her.
Mm-hmm.
Ask her
Yes.
what belief would serve you better. If she comes up with one, you acknowledge it, you say great, and then you can say, audience, like, what do you guys think? What other new beliefs? If she doesn't come up with one, you can say, let's get some help from the participants here. What do you think? So either way, ask her first and then get audience.
And that's a small sequencing that changes it from mixed results to masterful results. So
Mhm.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Try in school. Okay.
Don't pay attention.
Yeah, because if I'm not good enough, like, right?
Yeah.
With some new beliefs that will serve her better than I am not good enough. So if you have an idea, raise your hand. Let's get some shares.
I am smart enough.
Ooh, I am smart enough. How about I am a genius?
I love the excitement in your face just then. It's fun.
What else? Scott.
I can do whatever I need to do.
I can do whatever I need to do. And I can do whatever I want to do.
If I put my mind to it, I can do anything.
Sure enough. If I put my mind to it, I can do anything.
Okay, she resonated with that one.
And say I can do anything. Yes.
I have what it takes to accomplish it.
I have what it takes to accomplish this. I am powerful.
Powerful.
Very.
Okay, she's got her arm behind her back, so she's giving you some indications.
Yes. I am worth it. Okay, Amanda, so now
She
you
liked
get
that
to
one.
choose your new belief. Out of all of these and any that you came up with on your own, which one feels the best to you?
I put my mind to it. Accomplish anything.
Okay, if I put my mind to it, I can accomplish anything. Are you ready to step into that new belief?
Heck yeah.
Awesome. So, in a moment,
I would even have her say, there's a lot of conditionals in that statement. If I put my mind to it, then I can accomplish
Then I
anything.
can't, right?
So you can offer, can we offer a more powerful way to word this new belief? Let's try this on. Since or because I put my mind to it, I accomplish things. Not I can or if.
Mhm.
It's because I do. Little tweaks on the wording there.
actually going to invite Tom up because he has agreed to help us with this process. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to stand in front of the glass. But first, I'm going to talk to you about the purpose of the glass walk and how you walk on glass. Would you like to know that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I would cut myself.
Good, because we're going to
What should you say?
She said I don't want to cut myself.
The glass walk, the purpose of the glass walk is to challenge our commitment. And it does that, doesn't it? Once we step onto that glass, are we not committed? If we want off it,
There's another are we not?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and I assure you, I remember when I did my first glass walk, I'm like, no, there's something.
Okay, watch out for this moment. It's this Velociraptor
Very real.
arms with the
And it's
pinching fingers. Watch out for that.
Which means that you've also taken or decided to, when I'm doing that, then I'm holding the weight of something, and quite often the speaker is holding the weight of the world. Instead
Or
of on
this
their
bouncing
shoulders,
motion.
they're trying to hold it all up. And it's not yours to hold, nor do you have to.
Okay, remember next time we want to see the full walk.
Okay. let's
Okay, there's those
share.
pinchy
I'm
fingers
so
again.
excited to hear about what some of your
Pinchy,
experiences
pinchy.
were like. What have you been learning?
And pointer,
Say your name. Yeah, Kylie.
full hand.
Hey, Kylie.
Good.
I was actually surprised at how much confidence I had when I was crossing the glass.
I would encourage you to bring them up if you know that if you're going to stand them up and they're going to say you're going to have a conversation, then bring them up.
Mhm.
What is, I was thinking of, I can.
Awesome.
I wouldn't have brought her up in this case. I think it's fine. How you did it.
All right.
If you're just getting shares, yeah, keep in the audience.
Who else has something they want to share? Experience they want to share?
Loosen up.
Anybody? Any more share?
Okay.
Okay.
That was very pleading. Please, please, somebody. Be sure that you have a great thing to do if you feel like there's dead space between shares is expound on the last person who shared. So she talked about, I was surprised at how much confidence I had inside of me walking across the glass. You can expound on that, give like a 90-second piece of content on that, or relate to it in some way, and that will give other people an opportunity and stimulate their minds for their shares.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually walk on the glass.
Oh, what's your name?
Good remembering
Hi,
and directing.
Susan.
Hey,
Susan. I didn't actually walk on the glass, but as I sat and watched everyone else do it, it was like you could see the change in them from when they were in their old belief and when they come out with their new belief. You could see, like physically see the change in their features.
How many of you felt a change?
Good. See, that's where you expanded on her
Mhm.
comment. Very good.
It's pretty awesome to see.
Very bold.
Good.
And you also barely leaned in, which was perfect.
Very good.
When I started this presentation, I shared with you a pretty personal time in my life. And as I identified the limiting beliefs that we listed. and
On the board that's not there. Good job.
I started to realize that I had chosen to believe as my truths some very dangerous lies. And I had started to become the mom that my world and my culture dictated to me that I should be.
You're arcing your story very well.
As I turned those limiting beliefs into my new beliefs and I started aligning my actions with those new beliefs, my world came into alignment with me. And I became conqueror. I ask you this. Can you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be?
That's a great question.
Yes. The answer is yes, absolutely. And Breakthrough can help you do that.
Okay, if I'm going to ask that question, that may be my thank you after the question and just letting them ponder. You still have more information that you're wanting to give them, but just be aware I love that question because it is a thought-provoking ponder question, and definitely keep it, but it may be your end.
You can use it as an end piece, like Tracy said, or you can just demand a response and say,
Mhm.
how many of you would remember, or even now better remember, who they were before the world told you had to be something otherwise? If you've created, demand an answer from that. So you can either wrap up with it, or you can demand an answer.
Yes.
Say, I know who I am. If you have a greater knowledge of who you are, raise your hand and say, I know who I am.
I know who I am.
Breakthrough is the answer to help you become conqueror in all areas of your life. Do you feel a little bit more like a conqueror tonight after walking across that glass? Let me hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit more like a conqueror. Take the little bit out. Just say, how many of you feel like a conqueror after walking across that glass?
Mhm.
You say that in full confidence.
And then the hands are up. I like the hand up there. And
Time to bring out the warrior, Amy.
But before we do, I'm going to take you through the Limitless Manifesto.
All right. this is another part where you just take them into the manifesto. We don't tell them that we're taking them into the manifesto. You started building a really great energy. You literally had their hands up. That's the energy that you just get to step forward with instead of saying, we're going to do the manifesto. Just do it.
You've heard me say many times tonight, words have power. They have power to take you down. They also hold the power to lift you up. And these new beliefs that you made tonight, if you turn them into manifestos and you allow them to, they will change your lives. I'm going to show you the example of the kind of energy that you can feel and that you can have in your body when you really believe and state with authority positive affirmations. At Limitless, we call them words of life. Stand up.
Okay. So
Repeat after me.
we're at 357 right here. Let's see.
Feel a little bit more like a conqueror tonight after walking across that glass.
Okay.
Let me hear it.
So we wasted about 50 seconds explaining what a manifesto was rather than
Just going
Doing
right
it.
into it, yes.
when they hear the words of life and they feel them and you're in the manifesto, they'll know exactly how that shows up, what that feels like, and they'll want to do it again in their own homes. You don't have to explain the manifesto. The manifesto is something we just go forward with and do. Okay, so we're at 357.
Stand up. Repeat after me. This is my life.
This is my
Get
life.
yourself some music.
I love my life.
I love my life.
I am committed to me.
I am committed to me.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
I am born with a purpose.
I am born with a purpose.
And I'm created for greatness.
I am created for greatness.
I have
Okay, when you're doing these manifestos, I see you pacing very slowly, so your body energy isn't quite matching. I paused you on a really weird look on your face. Your body energy isn't quite matching the energy that you're trying to create with the manifesto. So, and it's giving you mixed results. You're getting people that aren't buying into the manifesto because they're seeing a disconnect.
limitless wealth.
I have limitless wealth.
I have limitless connection.
I have limitless connection.
I am financially free.
I am financially free.
I have limitless health.
I have limitless health.
I am created with a purpose.
I am created with a purpose.
I love my life.
I love my life.
This is my life.
This is my life.
I am limitless.
I am limitless. I am
limitless. Together,
We are limitless.
Thank you.
Okay, hang on just a second here. There's that shrug. Okay, you need some music, girl. Get yourself some music. Okay, here's a shrug. Watch for it. Okay. I love you.
That's awesome. And once again, if the music were backing what you were doing, it naturally builds for that moment.
And when you hold that finger up, it'll be filling that space so people don't feel like they have to put their hands down, then back up, then back down. So make sure you get yourself some music. It's posted on the Mentor Maker page. You can just go and get it from there. It's the manifesto music. This wrap up with a shrug just discredits a lot of the work that you've put into your presentation. So you get to stand in full power throughout the end of your presentation, all the way through the end of the applause, when you just stand there and receive it instead of the whatever this is. Okay, excellent. We've got 5 more seconds left, and you did a really good job. I'm really excited to see your next version of this. So make sure that you record the full walking of the
Yes.
glass so that we can see how the breakthrough happens. I know you're not certified yet, but we want to see the lightning work happen. We want to see how you conduct the traffic through the glass walk and all the way up through the very end.
You are limitless.
Yes, you are.
And-
Nice work. And way to go for stepping first, and going forward with this. And I am really honestly excited to see how you do at a regional after you get to level 1 certified. So keep them coming. Great job. Let's give it another go and see what it looks like. I'm very confident that we'll nail this very quickly.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank
way to
you.
go, Amy.